So Peter Obi has decamped from another party again. But this time I think it was the right move and I applaud it. Hi, I'm Ty, and I tried to sprinkle some common sense on the nonsense that is Nigerian politics and world news. Please like and subscribe if this is the kind of content you like, because I'm trying to get us to 500 subscribers by the end of June, and I'll need your help all the steps of the way. So let's talk about this Peter Obi moving. So there were rumors online before he actually did it that, oh, he's moving from the ADC to the NDC. But eventually on Twitter, he comes up with a very long tweet which explains his reasons for leaving. And I know I was critical of Peter Obi in one of my last videos for moving from the LP to the ADC, but I think that this particular move is actually the smartest thing that he could do at this point. To be honest, I think that the coalition was doomed from the very beginning. And this is where I think that Peter Obi was a little bit naive, because the way it looked and with the people that were forming on that coalition, I felt that for Peter B to get to the forefront of the winning ticket, he would have had to make a lot of compromises that will ultimately dilute the work that he needs to do if he gets into the position of being president. First of all, Atiku. Atiku basically has been treating the presidency the same way Tinubu was treating the presidency before he won, being that he's basically looking at the presidency as some sort of birthright, and he's hoping that it's going to be his turn very soon. Because what, this is like the seventh time that he's running, and I don't think that at any point he has shown that he will take a back seat to Peter Obi to become the president. And again, with the way these things were going, and with the nature of the old guard of the Nigerian political realm thing that was going, a lot of wetting the palms of people would have had to happen. And that's what Atiku has been doing for the longest time. When it's time to run for presidency again, he comes with his tranche of money, gives the appropriate people, and then tries to run again. And ultimately, I think that Peter B made a miscalculation by joining the ADC. But I also think that it is very smart, and it shows a sign of somebody who is agile for you to make a mistake and to pivot immediately and try and correct it. So I don't fault him at all for seeing that within the 4 months that he was in the ADC that this is going to be a problem, and so he moved on to another party. I personally think that it is naive to shake the hands and smile with um, thieves. I'm going to say thieves because this old guard of people are very responsible for the Nigeria that we are looking at today. And I don't think that Peter Obi should be frolicking as much as he is with these set of people. I'm going to use an example from the Bible. Jesus dined with sinners, but at no point in the Bible did Jesus dine with thieves. He was known for sitting with prostitutes and tax collectors. Prostitution, while you might consider it morally bankrupt, is not a crime. It is a transaction between two willing participants, and they move on. Tax collecting in that time was frowned upon by Jews, because basically we're collecting money from Jews to give to the Romans. So Jews generally frowned at you for that. But it was legitimate work. You were not stealing from anybody. But then The only time Jesus hung out around thieves was against his will when he was on the cross. And so he could not choose who he was beside the cross with. And even in the Bible, if you go back to when Jesus cleared out the temple, he said, "Why are you turning this place into a den of thieves?" Because he understood that people can be imperfect. But when you are willingly committing crimes, then you have made a decision to negatively affect the lives of other people. And that is how I look at the old guard of Nigerian politics. These people have been notorious for just scattering the country, and I was not very comfortable with Peter Obi trying to align himself with them. Although I guess that's why Peter Obi is a politician and I am not, because I guess compromises are necessary. Peter Obi cited a lot of internal crises and a hostile political environment. In the last video, I was critical of Peter Obi because I said that, oh, why didn't he try and fix the Labour Party and make the Labour Party more in his image? And then I think now I am realizing that Peter Obi understands that he is the wave. Currently, now we are following Peter Obi. We're not following the party that he sits in. So if he chooses to switch his parties, that is fine if it gets him ultimately to where he's trying to go. And to fight internal battles that are unnecessary, I think maybe from his point of view, is fighting fights that are unnecessary for the time that we are in. Why fight a fight of making the party into your image when you have not shown the entire Nigeria in a position of power that this is what I can do if you give me more leeway? I also think that the internal conflicts just shows us as Nigerians that there is a war. And even if Peter Obi miraculously wins the election, it doesn't end there. There are a lot of battles that need to be fought on different levels. And I think the first battle that we need to fight is making sure that our votes count and they count for the person we want to win. So let me know in the comment section below if you think that Peter B is making a good move by moving to the NDC, and if the structure that everybody is looking for from Peter B can be solidified where it currently is. Let me know what your thoughts are. Again, like and subscribe, and I hope you enjoyed me just rambling for a bit, just trying to get my thoughts together. Thank you very much, and see you on the next video. Goodbye.